What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Lambo Plays podcast. This is episode 63, UFC Vegas 77, and I'm your host, Mike. Tim is late. He just sent me a message, so let me send this guy a link real quick. Sorry, guys. He's somewhere lost in space, I think. But it's kind of my fault because I did not send him the link. So I thought he had it for whatever reason, but I'm sending it to him now. He should be in here shortly. But with that being said, I've been gone for a couple of weeks, obviously in Vegas, had a good trip in Vegas. So I appreciate all the support that everybody gave me while I was out there. We almost hit a really big score, but still did well, still profited around 20K. So we'll take it, made a final table, and it was a great experience. So, again, I want to thank everybody that was supporting me. I know I had a ton of support, so I appreciate it. Let me go over to chat and shout out my chat while Tim makes his way here. Rob Lawrence, what is up, my man? Thank you for joining. Yes, let's fucking get it. Perp, SCG, the GOAT is back. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Any favorite underdogs on DK for this week? I'll talk about the DFS stuff at the end. How about that? I'll touch on a little. I have a lot of lineups this week, so yeah, I like a couple of spots actually. A lot here. Victor De Jesus, what is up, my friend? Let's cash those tickets and get those Lambos. Yes, sir. DXJC56. Good to see the boys are back in town. Yes, thank you, my brother. Patrick, the return. What's up, my brothers? What is up, Patrick? How you doing, man? Hopefully everything's going well. This guy, don't fuck with Patrick, dude. His biceps are as big as my thighs. So, Mushroom, what is up, my brother? Mushroom's in the house. Robert Fish Sticks, what is up, my man? Just Win Baby Rich, what is up? Holly Holm retirement fight. Maybe, just maybe. Who are the winners this week? We're going to figure that out. St. Stephen, what is up, man? Let's go. Thanks for doing this. Mike and Tim, what is up? Joshua Frick, Tim is making steaks. Yes, that's Wagyu steaks are for fucking Saturdays. He does not waste time on Fridays. He was probably working, but there he is. My man, hair is all. What the fuck's going on with this hairdo? This man is completely changed. He goes to the fucking mohawk. What is going on, Tim?
What's going on, guys? We're here, man. Let's do this. Fucking pumped to get back in this.
St. Stephen says Wagyu. Yeah, no Wagyu today. Wagyu's tomorrow.
No, yeah, Wagyu all.
What is up, my man? Daz is in the house, always supporting the show. Appreciate you, my man. Shafiq, let's go. GGGs. Yes, sir. Die Hard MMA podcast. What is up, Clint? Thank you for joining us, my friend. I appreciate it. Mr. Jingles is in the house. What is up, man? Los Labrador, straight from London. Thank you for joining us, my friend. I appreciate it. Sean Gone is in the house as well. George, welcome back, bro. Congrats on the thank you, man. I appreciate it, George. Narrative Nation also in the house. Evelyn Stone, always in here. Thank you, Evelyn. I appreciate it. Quicks, what is up, my man? And Fresh Gambles. We're already 54 deep here. I love it. I love it. I got a fucking feeling we are going to crush because I'm refreshed, Tim. I'm really fucking refreshed. I did some taping, but not like I wanted to over there. The setup is all fucked up. Internet's cutting in and out. You saw it with our videos. And I'm trying to tape, and I'm watching like 5 seconds, it's cutting off. I'm watching another 10 seconds, it's cutting off. I wanted to kill myself over there, dude, with the internet. So now we're back in style. Me and Sean Orr went to Unibet, which is 10 minutes away from me. We fucking hammered them with some bets. Hopefully we're going to make them pay. And with that being said, Tim, do you want to start this card off?
Yeah, man. Excited.
All right. We got 13 fights. We lost Walt Harris, Josh Parisian. And I'm not sure if you know, but Walt Harris got flagged for USADA. So, oh boy. Not a good sign. But first fight of the night, it is in the bantamweight division. Sorry. It's a 6-5 Ashley Evans Smith versus the 7-2 Aline Perez. What do you have here for your Lambo play, Tim?
I've got a little bit of all-in Perez here, round 2 and round 3. Taking a shot at her just breaking. Ashley Evans Smith. I just don't know where Ashley Evans Smith's head is at in the game right now. If it's in the game or not, seems to be like it's not. So just she hasn't been type of person that's gotten like finished by KO ever, but she's typically when she gets finished, she gets subbed. But I think like the KO for Perez would be the way to go. I'm just going to be safe and go round 2, round 3. But if you were going to take a shot on like one of the individual props, I would lean the KO on that if you wanted to get greasy on some of those. But just play it safe. Plus 750, plus 1,000 for Perez. Just saying, think she gets on top. When she gets on top, she's extremely aggressive. Usually going for ground and pound. So yeah, I'll take a shot on her to break Ashley Evans Smith. Yeah,
I mean, I like the Aileen Perez side as well. Just don't like what I see from Ashley Evans Smith, to be honest. There's watching her fights. There's just nothing that she does that's very good. And to top it off, she's been gone for almost 3 freaking years. A ton of like matchups where, cancellations, this and that and the other. She's on a 2-fight losing streak. She's all over like OnlyFans and all this other shit. She's got her own podcast, all this other crap going on in her life. I'm not so sure she even cares about the UFC. Maybe this is her last fight on her contract and she just wants to fulfill it and make a little bit extra money. But I mean, even without all those factors and the time off, like when I watch this girl's tape, she just doesn't look good, man. It's just nothing about her game is good. Her striking's not very good. Her grappling is not good. And supposedly this girl had like a wrestling background. I don't really see it. I don't on tape. On the other side, like Aileen Perez is not very good as well. But what I see from her is she's trying to get better. She's very aggressive. She's going for takedowns and when she's on top, she's pretty mean, man. Like she wants to get you out of there. She has a lot of stoppages, albeit, those were against lower level opposition, but the girl just fucking goes for it, and I just don't see that from Ashley Evans Smith. The other thing is Ashley Evans Smith's 36, dude, like taking 3 years off, almost in your prime at like 32, 33, and then coming back at 36, huge red flag for me. So I got in Perez, believe it or not. I got in Perez at KO at plus 1,000. That line's completely gone. I think KO 2 and 3 is good here. I don't see a submission, to be honest. Maybe, but I think she just loves the ground and pound. And KO 2 and 3 right here on this one is. Let me just make sure. It's plus 1,300. And round 3 is plus 1,800. So I like those. You can also just try to play it safe at 750, but it's a big difference. So
that's where you do both, right?
Yeah, I like the 1,300 just because it's so big. It's so much big. It's almost double what a round 2 is. And I think that's off. So I like round 2, round 3 KO. It's 13. Like I said, it's 1,300 and 1,800. I think it's live here, man. I think she has the better cardio. And, I just think she's a more aggressive chick here amongst these two. So, yeah, give me Aileen Perez, KO 2-3 here. Moving on, fight number 2. It is in a lightweight division. It is the 17-6 Carl Deaton III versus the 6-2 Alex Munoz. This is another fight where Alex Munoz is off a long layoff here. Again, a little over 2 years. And this is a guy, when I heard his interview, and I needed to see why. Like, I knew he had some kind of injury, but I'm like, why? But why is he out for 2 years? So apparently he had an ACL tear. He tore his ACL pretty, not fully tore it at first. And I guess he went to train and then completely tore it. So he had surgery. He had some problems after surgery. He had to get some other stuff fixed on the knee. So he took all this time off. He says he feels great. He says his knee is fucking spectacular. And remember, this guy's a very, very high-level wrestler. He's the head wrestling coach at Team Alpha Male. So they train a lot of wrestling over there. So if he's the head coach, like, his wrestling is good. I mean, Munoz's wrestling is very good. The problem with Munoz is I feel like when he gets the fight to the ground, he's like never controlling people. They're always getting up, like almost always in every single one of his takedowns. Guys happen to just pop right back up. So, he got so many takedowns against Nick Newell, who's, only has one arm, and he couldn't really hold him down. He got a bunch of takedowns against Luis Pena. He could not hold him down. Now, Carl Deaton is just, to me, just not good anywhere, man. Like, I just don't like this guy's game. First of all, I don't think this guy's UFC level. Second of all, his takedown defense is not great. And third, I don't think he has much power on the feet, like to really scare Munoz here. I feel like Munoz is probably going to get takedowns, probably going to win some minutes. The issue I have, again, with Munoz is the fact that guys always get up against him. They just don't get held down. And on the feet, I kind of favor Deaton. I don't think it's that far off because I think Munoz has a little bit more power, but I think Deaton has like the overall better striking game, even though it's not very good. So with that being said, the guy's been off for so many years. I don't know what his cardio is going to look like. He's coming off a bad ACL injury. Kind of feel like split decision is good in this fight. Feel like this fight hits the scorecards at a very high rate. And split decision is plus 400 here. Either way, I kind of lean that as my Lambo. I don't like much on this fight, to be honest. There's some question marks, and Deaton just is not very good, in my opinion. So what do you like here, Tim?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Munoz side. I agree with you, man. I think there's red flags on him on both of these guys, but I think the Deaton is just like, to me, he's just really not good anywhere. And like you said, it's like if you're not good anywhere, it helps to have like power at least, like just like or the ability to finish somebody like in one, like violently. Like he just doesn't have that either. So of course he's going to come out and like knock him out like Jesus did last week in 7 seconds. But no, I think that I'm going to kind of tail on what you said with him letting guys up and not being able to hold anybody down, and kind of like clue that into what I think might happen in the fight. I think that like Munoz sub plus 650 is kind of good. Like I just think that he's not super aggressive with things, and he's not great. Like he's not great on the ground, but I just think he's gonna have so many opportunities with this guy getting up and taking his back, and like all it's gonna take is one. I think he's gonna have so many opportunities taking him down and letting him up that he's gonna have back take opportunities. And with the back take opportunities comes the rear naked choke against Deaton. He has no idea how to defend it, and he just basically dies. So I just think that's like plus 650 and sub 2-3, 20-1 and 32-1. Those are solid for me. I mean, I just think that he's going to have plenty of opportunities to break this guy over time, and just that's going to be his game plan. So I don't think he's great jiu-jitsu wise, but I do think it's possible.
Yeah, to me, like I agree with you. He's going to have probably opportunities. I just don't like his submission game. Like I don't think it's any good. He's basically strictly a wrestler, and who knows though? Who knows? This guy's been subbed by rear naked choke twice. Deaton.
That's the key.
The problem is it was like Selecki and
Selecki's slick, but it wasn't slick. It wasn't slick though. Slicky is slick, but
he had his back. He had his back for the whole round in round one, and he couldn't get him. He got him.
Yeah.
So it's like, can Munoz sub this guy? Like, I watched some of his tape, and I really don't like what I see. Like, I mean, he can't even hold people down, which is
probably not. But I think I like 650 and like 21, 32.
Yeah, I won't be mad at you for taking it. Like, I think he probably wins by decision, most likely. But
me too.
Who knows? Luke sparring with a reality. What is up, my boy? I didn't get to see you out there in Vegas, but hope everything is well. Yeah, let's move on here, Tim. Fight number 3, flyweight division. It is the 21-13-1 Tyson Nam versus the 16-0 Azat Maxim. What do you have here, Tim, for your Lambo?
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of weirdly lined, they're definitely, nobody ever gives Tyson Nam any credit. He's very easy to cap. He's very low volume and huge right hand. Can basically knock out anybody with his right hand if he hits him. Not really accurate. So I think Maxim in the tape, like I saw him get rocked a couple times. So I mean, I'm not like looking to, parlay this dude or do anything like that and do stupid shit like this week. But I think Maxim sub plus 280 is not bad. I think it's the widest line for all of his particular props. I think it's the most likely for him, actually. The takedown defense for Nam is statistically elite, but I mean, who has he fought that's been like a really good grappler? I just don't think that it's – I think that we'll see this fight if he's, got really elite defensive grappling or not, because that's exactly what Azat's going to do in this fight. So I lean sub plus 280, and I would think that it would probably happen later as he starts to break him, but wouldn't be shocked round one. But I'm going to go with round 2, round 3 sub.
Yeah, so kind of agree with a lot of what you said. I kind of thought the same about, like, Tyson's Nam takedown defense. Is it like any good? Because like, I'm looking at it and it shows 100% takedown defense, right? In the UFC, but he's really not faced any grapplers. But what I did, Tim, is I did go back. I watched the Zalgas fight. He also fought a very, very good grappler, Ali Bagatanov. And, he did well, honestly, in takedown defense. And I think his takedown defense is actually pretty good. So it's not like something's going to surprise him here. Like, he's fought these Dagestani wrestlers before, and he seemed to have, decent success. Now, we're talking 6 years ago. This guy is pushing 40 years old now. He's 39 years old. He's going to be 40 this year. He's cutting to 125. He's pretty big 25er, if you ask me. But I still think he's extremely durable. When you watch last fight, like, he gets up kicked to death, right? He took that up kick right on the chin, which rocked him. He went down. I mean, it didn't finish him, but then Silva took the opportunity to get his back and choke him out, right? And Silva's a very good submission grappler. This Maxim guy, he seems to have a little bit of power on the feet. He has a decent grappling game. I just think it's not anything that Tyson Nam hasn't seen. But do I think Tyson Nam can win this fight? I think very, very low percentage, man, just because he's so low volume. And this guy, Maxim, shows good cardio, and he literally spams a lot of takedowns. And I think he's going to get takedowns maybe here and there, and he's going to put the pressure on him. And I think he wins by decision, Tim. It's plus 235 only on Bet Rivers, so it's like a used Lambo. But I kind of feel like that's where he's going to win this fight. I don't think he's going to stop Nam. Now, it's always possible, but man, Nam has, he's faced a lot of good fighters, even on the regional scene. And, the guy's just hard to get out of there. Like, Marlon Moraes got him out of there, but it was a fucking head kick, Like, okay, but the guy's chin is really good. And his defensive grappling seems to be really good. Like, I don't see, outside of the last fight where he got clubbed in sub, basically, the guy's done well. So just give me that decision prop on Maxim. I do think Maxim wins here at a pretty high clip, but plus 235 on the decision, I think is a little off, to be honest. I think they're giving him a lot more credit for finishing, basically based on his record overall. Like, he's got a ton of finishes, but against who, right? All these regional, older Brazilian guys that are going over there and just fighting him, like set-up matches for the most part. So, yeah, decision prop here on him is what I like. Going over to chat, Fight Talk only. What is up, my guy? How you doing? Slasher, we will talk about that in a bit. What else is here? Thought his weight cut might spoil it. Okay, let's move on. Fight number 4. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 10-2 Gennaro Valdez versus the 7-2 Evan Elder. Going right back to the well here, Tim. Evan Elder by decision here, plus 360 currently on FanDuel. Another line that I think is very, very wide, man. Like they're giving him a lot more credit for the KO than his decision prop. And, you know, he does have some pop in his hands. I'm not going to say he's, you know, doesn't have pop, but, you know, this guy has faced pretty low-level guys and gone to decision twice against these guys in the regional scene. He is very tough. He is very durable. Evan Elder, I don't think he's going to be taken out of there by his opponent. But Valdez just, you know, I think what I think in this fight is Evan Elder's probably going to wrestle here, take this fight to the ground because Gennaro Valdez doesn't have very good takedown defense. But like we saw it against Levy, man, and Levy's a way better submission grappler than Elder is. He couldn't really sub him. And like, I don't see Evan Elder subbing this guy. So I do like Evan Elder to win the minutes. I think he wins the minutes with the grappling. I know Valdez has been hurt many times. Even in his Contender Series fight, he got hurt. And in the Frivola fight, he got fucking knocked down I don't know how many times. But in the Levy fight, he got hurt as well. But I think both times they were head kicks. And I don't see really Elder throwing head kicks here. So for me, I think decision has a ton of value here at plus 360. I think people are underestimating the toughness of Valdez. I saw the toughness last time out. Like, he fought with an absolute broken foot. Like, it was a balloon in round 3. He fought on one foot. And he still went out there and tried. And he still has that Mexican toughness in him. And I don't really see Elder as a big finisher, to be fair. So, decision plus 360, I'm going to take a shot at that on FanDuel. What do you have here, Tim?
All right. I'm in agreement that I think he's going to wrestle, that Elder's going to wrestle. I also am in agreement that Valdez, I think, is tough. He's totally defensively irresponsible pretty much everywhere. Where I disagree is I think that Elder's, like, jiu-jitsu it's not as good as Levy's, but Levy doesn't finish anybody because he just doesn't, he gasses and he doesn't have anything other than his jits when he gets down. Like, he's just totally going for subs and trying to do that or hold position and just lay on guys. And he doesn't really do anything ground and pound wise to get anything to open up. So I think that I'm going to take a shot on the sub plus 500 and the sub 2, sub 3, 16-1. Just see a theme with there's a lot of subs on my card today. Sub 2, sub 3, 16 and 28-1. I just think that, like you're saying, I think he's going to grapple a lot. I think when he does get him on the ground, I think he's going to be more aggressive than what we saw with Levy. Levy had so many opportunities to finish this guy, and he didn't. And I just feel like that's where I feel like Elder's going to put more pressure on him, and he's going to have more gas to just keep it on him throughout the whole fight. So I don't think that I'm totally fully prepared. I actually probably will put yours in like a parlay as well, just to like hedge that play and just to play it safe, or even to like go 2-3 as well, just in case he does get a ground and pound on it. But I really think that the sub is more live, just from, like you said, like these guys that are really durable, they don't always go out on the ground and pound, and they just turn their back sometimes and they'll just give up the neck. So I'm going to kind of lean that way with Elder this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. I do think Elder's only want to say he's a blue belt. I'm not sure. I thought I saw he was a blue belt. Like, he's not really a great submission grappler, but I mean, yeah, like you said, like if he's giving up his neck, I mean, anybody can get it, and take it home with them. So it is possible. But yeah, let's move on here. Fight number 5. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 9-2 Austin Lingo versus the 19-6 Gazelle Costa. What do you have here, Tim?
This is one I'm not super confident on, but I'm leaning the Costa. I'm on the Costa side. Just how he wins, I kind of don't know whether it's a decision or I'm going to go with sub because I think that that's his biggest advantage in the fight. Just not because like he doesn't proactively grapple a ton in the fights that I've seen recently, but in the earlier tape, he does. He's going against some kind of scrubbier guys when he's doing it, but I just think that Lingo's clear weakness is his grappling. So if Costa is smart and Chutabox, they're not idiots there. I mean, if they're game planning this right, they're telling this guy to fucking grapple, and they're telling him to like cage push and tire him out in the first round, and just to basically, stay away from him in the beginning and take him down as often as possible. If they're smart. Obviously, I don't think that, this is the fight game. We can't always rely on a rational game plan from everybody, but I mean, this is clear as fucking day. It's like, so it's the guy does nothing. He doesn't do any grappling whatsoever. He strikes, and he primarily just like, he just wants every fight standing. So this is where they gave the absolute insane lines last fight on the sub. Everybody hit it. Everybody hit monster. I mean, I think that Costa sub plus 500, sub 2, sub 3, 17, 27 to 1. I'm going to just keep this sub train going, man. Just keep it going all the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you on this one. I have a bet already on a track bet on Costa by submission at plus 550, and that was on DK. I think the lines come down a bit now, but you could still get 500 on FanDuel, and I still think that's extremely good here. Like when I watch Costa, he got sub last fight against Thiago Moises, who's very high level jiu-jitsu black belt. But he also did some good things when he got taken down, and he knew what he was doing. The other factor is like he was fighting on very short notice up a weight class against Thiago Moises, and now he's back down to 45. He's going to be the bigger guy. I saw the face-offs. He's bigger than Lingo. And then when I watched tape on Lingo, and I kind of dug deep on this one, I watched the Yusuf Zalal fight, and Zalal was just getting easy takedowns. And he threatened a couple of times with submissions. They were super close. Then I watched Jacob Kilborn. I mean, this guy is not very good. And he almost fucking subbed Lingo. And then last fight, Nate Landwehr, sure enough, the sub came, And now we got a guy like Mel Costa. And I think on the feet, it's probably going to be touching up Lingo, to be honest. He's a little cleaner. He's a little bit longer. And I think by him touching him up, Lingo's going to want to get into like a dirty, like get close, clinchy type of fight. I think he gets taken down, or he might even club and sub him, to be honest, Tim. So plus 500 Costa submission is something I really like. And round 2, round 3, man, like please play those guys, because round 2, Costa sub, right now, as I look at it, is plus 2,000 on Caesars, guys. Plus 2,000 and plus 3,000 on Caesars. So that's way off the market. I think both those sub props are live. I think Lingo absolutely sucks on the ground, even though he does grapple sometimes, and I don't understand why, because he sucks, like I said, on the ground. So, yeah, man. It's just something I like here. I like Costa to finish this round 2, round 3, hopefully by submission, and I'm right there with you. Moving on, fight number 6. It is in the strawweight division. It is the 6-4 Estela Nunes versus the 6-0 Victoria Dudakova, and I will kick this one off. Man, right back to the sub train, Tim. I think she gets a sub, but for my Lambo play, because that's a track play of mine, submission is. For my Lambo play, I'm just going to go round 2, round 3, 700 and 1,200, because she could also ground and pound. And I think as Nunes tires, which she tires in every single one of her fights, she starts to slow down, takedowns come easier, and then the openings are there for Dudakova on the ground. What I saw from Dudakova is, in her pre-Dana White's Contender Series tape, I thought she was going to get killed by Maria Silva. She showed a lot of heart, fighting on a torn ACL, getting a takedown in round 3, finishing the fight, basically on top, getting a bunch of takedowns against Maria Silva, who I think has way better takedown defense than Estela Nunes does. This fight is getting to the ground, and I think Dudakova is just going to run through this girl probably a little later when this girl tires. So Round 2, round 3, 700, 1200. And you can also sprinkle a little bit of the sub props there if you would like. What do you have here, Tim?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that I would lean that she would sub her just because that's what she typically does. But I just think that you have to also. I'm taking 2-3 as well. That would be my predictions in Lambo plays. But dude, you have to take a shot on the KO2 and the KO3 if you ask me, not the sub 2, sub 3. Because if you're already on 2 and 3, there's a positional KO here all day long. There's just is. It's not always going to be she gives up her back, and even though Dudakova's
I agree with you. I didn't even see those prices. Now that I see, insane. 3,100 and 5,000?
31 to 1 and 50 to 1. You got to do it. She gives up. Number one, she gives up. It's going to be, it could be anything. It could be on the cage. She just has her in a position where she just can't fucking move. That's what Sampage almost killed her in round 2. And then it was maybe the end of round 1 that happened. I can't remember. It was the end of one of those rounds where she just basically just let her keep hitting her. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. And I don't know. I just think that's very, very live. Plus 950 even for KO. I don't hate anybody taking shots on those. I'm on this. I would think the sub is what's going to happen. So I'm going to take 2-3, but I'm definitely taking a shot at the KO2 and KO3 at 31 and 50 to 1. It's way too there in my opinion.
I agree with you. I didn't see it was that wide. I mean, that's fucking insanity. Yeah, if you guys are going to play 2-3, then yeah, play 2-3 and then 2-3 KO, because you're going to hit if she subs her in round 2 or 3. But then if she KOs her in round 2 and 3, now you're really, like Tim calls it, it's pants off. So, yeah, I agree with you there. Lando says Nunes has a massive striking advantage. Yeah, she has a striking advantage, but only for one round. This girl slows down and her grappling is not good, dude. Dudakova has pretty good wrestling, in my opinion, and I think she gets her down fairly easily. Moving on, fight number 7. It is in a featherweight division. It is a 12-3 Tucker Lutz versus the 7-2 Malsic Bagdasarian. What do you have here, Tim, for your Lambo play?
I've got an ends by split decision here. I think I would take a shot, maybe. I would just say end split. If I had to take a shot on one of them, I guess I would take Lutz, but I don't know. No real lean on either one of these guys. I don't really like either one of these guys. Malsic gasses a ton, is shit on the ground. Lutz is really just not good at all. Just either he's just, he's going to do a bunch of shit, very average. He's probably going to grapple a ton in this fight, and that's all you need to say to be I'm not going to take. I think the line at the beginning of the week with the line movement coming down to where it's at right now, I think it's kind of right where it's at right now. But the early in the week, if you got on Lutz, I think that was a good play. But I can't bet the guy. I just can't bet him. I think he's kind of shit.
Yeah, I mean Lutz. I'm right there with you, man. Lutz Bagdasarian split plus 500. I do think Lutz is pretty durable. He fought a guy in Daniel Pineda who's an absolute maniac in the first 7.5 minutes. And that's just what Daniel Pineda does. He gets his opponents out of there, right? For the most part. I mean, this guy did survive, Pat Sabatini for a bunch of minutes on the ground. He survived a ton of submissions. But on the feet here, I do see where Bagdasarian, he does have power. He's the better, cleaner striker, but I also think he can get taken down by Tucker Lutz. So thing is, Lutz does have an advantage, a small advantage on the ground, but Bagdasarian does have the advantage on the feet. So depending on where this fight goes and how it plays out, I do see Bagdasarian having early success. But I think as the fight goes on, I do think Lutz starts to get successful. So split decision, yeah, that's how I'm looking at this as well. It's plus 500. That's what I'm going to go with. And before we move on to our next fight of the night, 107 of you in here, thank you for joining us. please do me a favor, hit that like down below and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification button so you know when we go live here on Narco Cop MMA. I appreciate it. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. And we'll move on, Tim. Fight number 8. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 13-5 Terrence McKinney versus the 8-1 Nazim Sattarov. Man, you can go so many different ways with this fight. You can go KO1 McKinney. You can go all types of shit. But I'm going to give Sattarov round 2, round 3. He's going to have the clear cardio advantage for sure. It's plus 540, which is not the best line for round 2. I don't think this fight is hitting round 3, but you never know. But he's definitely going to be the fresher guy in round 3. If this fight hits round 3, I wholeheartedly think McKinney's going to get stopped. So it's 1,400, 540 for round 2. But man, I'm going to say it right up front. I like McKinney here. I think he's going to KO this guy, and I think he probably is going to KO him in round 1. So take that for what it's worth. This is an interesting fight. I think it's going to be violence for sure. It's just the way both guys fight. Sattarov fights with violence, and McKinney fights with violence. So if there's anything that I took away from McKinney's last fight against Bonfim, is the fact that when he said after the fact, he said, I'm no longer fighting like that because that's not Terrence McKinney. We know what that means. Terrence McKinney comes out and is a crazy motherfucker in the first 3 minutes. So, you want to play under half a round? It's very, very possible. But yeah, Tim, what do you got here?
I agree with literally everything you just said because thank you, brother. Appreciate it. I really do. I pick is going to be Nazim round 2, round 3, but my gut is telling me that I actually don't think it's going to be KO1 for McKinney. I think he's going to sub him. I think that that's his bigger edge. I think that McKinney actually does go full rabies when he goes for guys, but I think that there's been situations with like Perez ZM fight where he didn't like go for any really like huge like strikes before he went for the takedowns. So I think that he does have intelligence with his game planning. I just think that from the last fight, like you said too, like I think he's going to be foaming at the mouth in this fight. Like I legit feel he's going to be absolute full rabies mode. Like just no way is he going to go make the same mistake that he did last fight. I'll be fucking shocked if he does that. I will be absolutely shocked if he goes really totally soft cocks it. And I mean, cause he was gassed after doing that anyways. Like why that's why he's saying, he's like, I feel the same way. Like I'm going to get murdered either way if I do this. It's like committing fight suicide. So I don't know. I'm with you. I feel like if he doesn't get him out of there in the first round, we know what we get with Terrence McKinney. The guy it's just really, really, really bad. And it's really bad every single time. So until we see something else, I'm not taking a shot on the, like, McKinney by points or anything like that. Like, I just think that this is a, clear round 1 McKinney, even end of round 1, he might die, but round 2, like you said, and I don't see this lasting to round 3, but if it does, the finish is even more live.
Yeah. I mean, everything, we basically agree with everything here. It's
I totally agree.
I think McKinney's kind of getting disrespected, not to mention, Lando says Nazim has a better cardio. He definitely has better cardio. Iron chin. He's got a good chin. He's got a good chin, but he just got dropped by Elder last fight. And believe me when I tell you, Drew Dober has an iron chin.
Yeah.
And he absolutely got floored by fucking McKinney.
There's no way that Elder hits harder than McKinney.
No, man. McKinney, if he lands, like, he can knock out anybody. Like, this guy has crazy power. And if he lands, it's just going to be night-night. But, Nazim can also knock him out because McKinney's chin is not the best either, and he gasses.
Be ready to live bet. Be ready to live bet on this one.
Yeah, be ready to live bet this one for sure. For sure. I agree. All right, let's move on. Fight number 9. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 9-2 Norma Dumont versus the 5-1 Chelsea Chandler. What do you have here for the Lambo play, Tim?
God, I hate this fight. I don't have too confident of a read on this fight at all. I'm going to take a shot on Chandler by points and Chandler by split at 10-1 and 3-1. Just think like she probably has maybe a little bit of grappling edge if she can get her down. Norma's got a gigantic badonkadonk and low center of gravity, so it's going to be hard to get her down. Just the fact that Chandler is going to walk through damage, walk through punches to get her own punches off and her own striking off and her own game off to clinch and do that and just basically that she just fights for your money. To me, I think that's what I'm going to take the shot on. I've bet too many times I've had money on Norma Dumont and just been screaming at the television going like, what am I doing betting on this chick? She does absolutely nothing. She has advantages that she doesn't take on people. Like there's so much to like, so much to like hate about her, honestly, when I watch her fight. And just, I think I honestly think that like she's got skills. Like that's the part that pisses me off about it, is like, I actually think that Norma's got legit skills anywhere a fight goes, but she just doesn't really ever proactively do anything that's smart for her in every matchup. Like she almost does the wrong thing every time. So I'm not saying like she's an absolute moron, but I just don't know. I just don't get it. Maybe she just doesn't react to the pressure well. She doesn't seem to like to fight in these moments when she's getting beat down. She doesn't really like to get into those types of fights. So yeah, give me the person who likes to take damage, likes fighting, and will probably do a little bit more to win a decision and by split.
Yeah, I mean, can't hate that if you're taking a lady that fights for your money. You can never hate that. But I just think Dumont is just so much cleaner everywhere. Like she's got better jiu-jitsu. She's better striker for sure by a mile. The way I see Chandler with her hands down, like striking, and she's trying to throw these big left hands. Like she got clocked and dropped against her last 2 fights ago against Courtney King. She absolutely got dropped in that fight and was hurt. And yeah, she's tough, but I just think Dumont is way better, cleaner striker. She's got good kicks. However, you said some things, Chandler goes for it and she's going to keep the pressure on and she's not going to stop. And I think it's just going to be like one of those fights. It's going to be particularly close, man. And Dumont, to be honest, fights close. Like she really doesn't put the finishing touches, even when she has, girls like on death's doorstep and she can't fucking get them out of there. Like, Danielle Wolf, like, dude, how do you not finish that chick? And it's like, she couldn't finish her, right? A bunch of other ones. And she's just fighting too close for my comfort. And I just feel like split decision is plus 380. I don't like this fight at all, to be honest, Tim. I want nothing to do with this fight. I know a lot of people are on Chandler, but man, what do you guys like? Outside of the aggression, there's really not much to like. I mean, she looked okay against Storyalenko, but Storyalenko is, it's a 35er and she's kind of small, and they fought at 40, and initially, if I'm not mistaken, she got kind of touched up early, right, in that fight. So before, or she got taken down or something.
She got taken down and she was mounted, I'm pretty sure.
Mounted, correct. So she was mounted, and yeah, so she got reversed, but she gets mounted by fucking Norma Dumont. I mean, Dumont is a bigger girl. Like, it's not easy to get her off of you. So it's like, I don't know, man. Her striking is not very good. She got taken down by Storyalenko, who's not a really good wrestler / she's got good arm bars from bottom, but that's it. So I think it's a levels matchup too. I'm kind of afraid where Dumont kind of like schools her.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think like I mean, if you ask me like gun to head to make a pick as to who I think is better and who's going to win, it'd be Norman Dumont. But I'm like trying to give you an actual Lambo play. There's like I shouldn't say that. Like if I just hate betting this prop. It's the same thing that you just said with Wolf. It's like if you're saying like pick a prop for the Norma Dumont side because you have to, her KO line is fucking great. It's amazing. But I've been heartbroken on her KO because she's got huge power and she just doesn't do anything with it. Like you said, like she'll hurt you and then she'll clinch, or she'll hurt you and then she'll let you off the hook. Like I've seen it too many times. So like I think it's a good line. I think that there's money on, if you have money on that, I think it's a good line. So good luck. But yeah.
So Clint says size and aggression. Norma got dropped by Ross last fight, KO'd by Megan. Plus Norm never wrestles Yeah, but you know what? So first of all, I do think Costa hits a lot harder than Chandler does. And then second of all, like when you're talking about grappling, yeah, she doesn't proactively grapple, but Norma Dumont is very, very good in the clinch. So like Chandler's gonna have to clinch her up, right? And she's probably gonna eat a lot of knees and I don't know, man. It's to me, it's a levels kind of match, and I don't think like to be fair, size and aggression here. Like I don't think like Chandler's going to be that much bigger than Norma. Like Norma's a natural 45er, so like I don't know. I don't know. I know she's a little bit taller, Chandler is, but there was a lot of aggression too. These girls were giving the middle finger back and forth. There was a lot of aggression going on. So not sure how this is going to play out, but we'll see. Moving on, fight number 10. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 16-4 Albert Duraev versus the 16-5 Jun Young Park. Okay. I like Duraev in this fight. Let's put that out there. I like Duraev in this fight. I think he's, the kicks, he's got a little bit more length as far as like his kicking game and stuff like that. He can keep it at distance. But I also think he can land takedowns here. It's not like far-fetched where Duraev can land a takedown or two against Jun Young Park. When Jun Young Park has faced, guys that have grappled him, they've had decent. Anthony Hernandez absolutely had a ton of success. Gregory Rodriguez took this down a couple of times. Anders had a hell of a time to get this guy down because he took a shit ton of attempts to get him down, but he got him down as well. And I think Albert Duraev can land a takedown or two here. Now, on the feet, kind of feel like it's close, man. It's not one-sided or the other. I do think the better volume is going to come from Jun Young Park, but I just watched Albert Duraev against a much, much cleaner, better striker than Jun Young Park and Chidi Njokuani. Pretty much held his own. Like, yeah, was he losing some spots? Yes, but was he getting blown out of the water on the feet? Absolutely not. So I don't think he's going to be able to finish Jun Young Park because I think Park is very durable. He's got good submission grappling skills, like defensively. I don't think he's going to be able to sub him. I don't think he's going to be able to knock him out. So what's the next thing? Since I like Duraev, what's the next thing, Tim? It's decision. And again, on a fight that's slated to go to decision, right? In very close odds, right? Why is this decision prop plus 350 on DK? Why? This fight is like going towards a decision. Odds are very close, and yet you're giving me plus 350 on Albert Duraev here by decision. Like, just doesn't feel right. It's on DK if you want it. The other thing I do want to give out is I also think split is because here, hear me out here. I think it's a very close fight. No one's gonna blow the other one out of the water, in my opinion. So split decision is 550. It's a very big line for this particular fight that I think is going to be super competitive and super close. So with that being said, decision 350 on Duraev, split plus 550. And if you want to sprinkle split on Duraev, I think it's in the 12 11? Yeah. There you go. What do you got here, Tim?
All right, we're going to have some dissension on this one. I like your plays, though, because I think everybody that's on Duraev is on him by, like, sub or by him, like, finishing early. I think if he wins, I think it's exactly that way. And I think if Park wins, I think it's late or by decision. I think late KO Park is good, too. I'll take the 2-3 for Park, and I think it would be by KO, typically is. I also think that the Duraev has like a potential like eye issue. Like he's had this thing, and I don't think he just had the eye issue. Am I wrong? It's 2 fights that I've seen him have it.
2 straight fights since balloon. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like it's one of those things where like you start to see people hit the same spot, and then it just go, all right, fuck you. It's back. This is now the same thing. So I just think at any time, I think that the kind of accuracy and the volume that you're going to get from Park. And just he's a smart guy. I think that that's something that I would be trying to attack. The cardio on Duraev, I feel like, is a little bit of a question mark, as well as like I just don't think his size is that big for this division. So to get the game plan that he likes to go, I'd also like the Chidi fight was just, I really think that Chidi was more scared shitless of getting taken down and just did nothing in that fight. And I think I really feel like Chidi in that fight was really, really afraid and super timid more than normal. I was looking back at that fight. I was just, I had a bet on, obviously I think I had an under, or a fight doesn't go or something like that, a parlay that was stupid. I'm like, I can't believe this fight went, but yeah, I like Park round 2 plus 850, round 3 plus 1400. Not super confident in it, but I would lean that way.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you for taking Park late round props. I mean, Duraev has shown his cardio is not the best, but I am going to say he's working with good guys now. I mean, he's over there working with fucking Strickland and all those guys. You know, I do think he's improving. Like, his striking is getting a little bit better. He's more like calm in the ring. Because, man, when I watch this guy's tape on the regional scene in Russia, like, this guy's going 5 fucking hard rounds and finishing guys in the 5th. Like, his cardio looks fucking great. But he might have been, you know, on the sauce over there. I don't know. And he no longer might be on it. So it's not helping him anymore. So I don't know. I like Duraev in this spot. I think he's getting a little underrated here. Being the dog. I think this is like a 50-50 fight, honestly. So hence why I went decision and split. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, Tim. Park's jab will be landing all night on that. Yeah, it's very possible. It's very, very possible.
I mean, it's clear he has an audible.
Zach says Duraev cardio and volume so bad. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's very good. But we'll see. I mean, this is a serious question we have to ask ourselves is, will Park get a TKO KO in his UFC career? Hasn't happened yet. I don't think so. I don't think he's getting a KO. He might get like one of those, you know, KOs where this guy's just like dead tired and stuff, ground and pound. I mean, it's possible. He did. Who was it that he beat the shit out of with ground and pound? Just absolutely killed him before he subbed him. Was it Dennis? Yeah, it was Dennis. He was like all bloodied up and shit. Yeah, it was Dennis. So, I mean, that was close to being a TKO stoppage from up top. So, moving on. Fight number 11. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 13-1 Atman Azaitar versus the 11-1 Francisco Prado. What do you have here, Tim, for your Lambo?
I think Prado by KO 1, KO 2 plus 430 plus 1200. KO is plus 240 alone. I don't think that this fight sees round 3 at all. If it does, be pretty shocked. Both these guys are killers. Minus Prado's last fight versus Jamie Malarkey, where I don't know what happened. It was kind of a different fighter, but I don't think Ottman's going to give him the chance really to do that. He's just going to go all there. He's just going to go straight at him. So kind of think both these guys are not guys I want to have a lot of money on or bet on. So I'm going to take a shot. Prado KO 1 plus 430, KO 2 plus 1200.
All right. I am all over the Prado side here. I really like Prado in this fight. 21-year-old fighting the 33-year-old former USADA something. I mean, he was bringing in a bag of potatoes.
It's in the bag.
Yeah, it was a bag of potatoes. It was nothing to see there. But honestly, you know, Prado on short notice in that last fight, like, showed pretty good cardio, man. Like, for being such short notice, I think it's flying over all the way to fucking Australia, right? It's a big difference. And now, you know, Prado's at the Goat Shed in Florida. There's some pretty good guys over there. He's getting way better training partners. This guy's only 21 years old, so he's only going to improve. And what I see on tape, man, from Prado is he wrestles quite a bit on tape, man. And if he wrestles here, I think he absolutely drowns Atman Azaitar on the ground, dude. And Azaitar's dangerous on the feet, but he ain't freaking dangerous on the ground. And the guy with way better grappling here is Prado. I think he's either a brown. I think he just recently got his brown belt, or he's a purple belt. I'm not sure, but Azaitar is probably a fucking ultra white belt on the ground. He has no fucking idea what to do. And submission is plus 525, Tim. Now, hear me out. Hear me out on this. Prado has better cardio. Prado is 12 years younger. A Zaitar is a gas bag. He no longer is using bullshit, right? All this points to sub 2 is 2,400 and sub 3, Tim, hold on to your pants, 4,500. Give me Prado by submission and sub 2-3, dude. I really like his sub props here. I watched a lot of his regional tape, and this guy grapples a shit ton. Like, why can't he grapple? Why wouldn't you grapple here against a guy who's clueless in the grappling game?
Yeah, I actually like that more than mine, honestly, because but it's so I'm not going to switch it, but I like that more. Just the line's better, obviously. I just kind of think that the firefight that I just don't know his like his game planning or his fight IQ or just anything like that. I kind of think that he's just going to go into the firefight with him, but I'm going to be playing those as well for sure. I just think that those are great lines.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, he's at a different camp at the Goat Shed. So, I mean, you know, they might game plan a little better here. And dude, one guy has way better cardio from what I saw in Prado than, you know, Prado was actually doing decently well until he got taken down by Malarkey. Like, he wasn't doing terribly. But is Ottman going to fucking wrestle here? I highly doubt it. So, yeah, man, give me Francisco Prado sub and the late round. The late round sub props, man. I think they might hit, honestly. Dyer says, love taking sub props against. Yeah, I mean, that's a gassy fighter, and he's off the juice. So, John Kelly's in the house. What is up, my man? Narco spitting fire. Thank you. I appreciate it, my man. I am getting the fucking plunge, the cold plunge tub. I need it too. I just ordered it. So I'm going to be in my plunge. We're going to be on StreamYard. Me and John Kelly. He's going to be on the other camera there where you're sitting. We're both going to be in our fucking cold plunge giving you our plays. So that's going to be the next one. It's going to be the cold plunge picks. But moving on. Fight number 12. It is the co-main event of the night. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 14-2 Jack Della Madalena versus the 8-3-1 Basil Hafez. And I know people are going to laugh, dude, but I mean, I think Hafez has a chance here, dude. I mean, people might laugh at me, but I honestly believe he has a chance to win this fight. He's got good wrestling. He's got very good jiu-jitsu. And what are the two flaws with Jack Della Madalena? His wrestling and his jiu-jitsu. And those are both huge strengths of Basil Hafez. Now, he's taking a fight on short notice. I've watched this guy a bunch on the regional scene. I know who he is. He's training up at Elevation Fight Team. His cardio, I'll tell you one thing. His cardio looked the best in his career his last fight against Evan Cutts. It really looked good. He was fresh in round 3. He had a lot of steam on his punches. He still looked really good. And he has power on the feet, by the way. Guy is – I watched I went kind of deep because obviously I played him. I watched a fucking Jeremiah Wells fight. There's no shot in hell he lost that fight. First of all, I put it on Twitter. Listen to this, Tim. It's a 3-round fight. First judge scores it 29-28, Hafez. The second judge scores it 29-28, Wells. Third judge scores it 29-28, majority draw. How the fuck is it a draw? Who did the third judge score to 29-28? That's what the fucking announcer said, dude. Like, I was so mind-boggled by that. I had to put it on Twitter. I'm like, did anybody watch this? How could this be a draw? There was no knockdowns. There was no points taken. There's no chance this was a draw. Somebody won. And when you watch it, I think Hafez won that fight. So with that being said, like, yeah, I love JDM. I think his body work, his hands are so good. But he has a flaw, and it's grappling. And that's Hafez's strength, man. And Hafez by decision. Plus 1,400. Now, could he sub? It's possible he could sub JDM. It's 1,100. But 1,400 just seems kind of insane to me. I'm going to take a poke at that. I think this overs in this fight are pretty good because I do think Hafez is durable as shit too. Like, can he get knocked out? Yeah, JDM can knock anybody out. But I do think the guy is very fucking durable. So we'll see. I think if honestly, if JDM stops him, I think it's in the later rounds, round 2, round 3. So what do you have here, Tim?
What you just said, the later rounds for Jack. And I honestly, I think like it just is stupid. They've lined it so dumb that you just have to take it. I would take a shot on all 3 of these because of what you just said. I would take a shot on round 2 at plus 470, plus round 3 at plus 1300, and Jack by points at plus 800. It's like, dude, they're hanging his points at plus 800. It's like, dude, he's a fucking minus 600, like, if you can't do that. Like, his decision prop should be like, I don't know, it should be plus 400, plus 300, so you can't hedge. And like, this is just like the classic mistake. Like, this is too easy to then play all of it, and you're banking against, like, you're betting against him finishing him in round 1. So like, you've got all these numbers and you have a huge numbers on every one, and you're hoping it's round 3 or decision, but you're still happy if you're cashing a plus 470, which becomes like a plus 270 after if you made 1 unit on all, or on all of those bets. So like, I think that's good. I feel like it's a late round finish for Jack as well. Jack is like, I was Sean asked, was I picking? Sorry, my phone just went there. Amber alert here. That was the Amber alert. Sean just asked, was I picking Brady over yeah, I was picking Brady over JDM. I would have had a huge bet on Brady over JDM. Because like Emiv almost had him subbed. Angelusa almost had him subbed. Like, these guys are not, like, Angelusa is not a good grappler in jiu-jitsu. He's just a strong dude, and he had a position, and he was inches away from triangle, that arm, head and arm triangle. So like, yeah, I feel like Brady was the perfect kind of like fighter to know would proactively grapple and go for subs and potentially catch him. Obviously, if it's on the feet, Brady's going to get fucked. But I would have been on Brady pretty big in that fight. So I don't hate you for doing this on him. This is exactly the kind of fighter that you want to bank against a guy like JDM. But I feel like this is the like short notice, things like that. I just feel like round 2, round 3, and then just the decision is just too wide to not take that into account as well.
Yeah, like he's Sean is asking, are you picking Brady over JDM? No, because the line wasn't nowhere near this wide, and I think Basel is very similar to Brady. To be honest, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. He's got very good wrestling, but the difference I think between Basel and Brady is, I think Basel is more of a dog than Brady is. To be honest, like, I don't think when Brady gets touched up on the feet, like, he's just. He busts up very easily. For me, Brady doesn't have the dog in him, but I do think Basel has the dog in him, honestly. And we'll see, man. Maybe I'm wrong. And I love JDM. Don't get me wrong. I think the guy is really fucking good. I think, the most likely outcome is he probably stops him with a body shot or something like usual. But am I going to be surprised if Basel takes this guy down and goes to town on him on the ground? This guy's a high-level grappler, man. Do not fucking sleep on this guy's grappling, guys. I'm telling you guys, he's like really good on the ground. He's no fucking joke down there. So, a lot of people don't know him. He's a newcomer on short notice. Everybody knows JDM. Yeah, why not? Let's put him in a parlay. He's minus, 600 or whatever the fuck it is. I don't think that's smart in this fight. So, I mean, again, do I think JDM is going to win? Yes. Do I think the line is off? Yes. So, that's where we're at here. So, all right, Tim, let's move on to the main event of the night. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 15-6 Holly Holm versus the 10-2-1 Myra Bueno Silva. What do you have here, Tim, for your Lambo play?
So I think I would take a shot on MBS by sub plus 390. I don't hate the KO plus 1200 either, but maybe just take the shot on the inside distance at 3-1. But like I think that she's the sub for me is I kind of feel like she's just super dangerous off of her back. For be able to get a sub on Jillian Robertson off her back is not easy to do. I also feel like I don't know. Not the Holly Holm has shown recently that she just is not the same Holly Holm. Like she just doesn't seem to be fighting and striking. She just really proactively grappling and way more clinching and just super boredom. I mean, just crazy ass boredom watching her fight. So even in fights now, like with the Ketlin Vieira fight, like even in fights where she's in really good positions, she's losing because she's just not doing enough. So I wouldn't be shocked even on like a split decision for MBS in this fight. I honestly don't know the prop wise. I don't have like a super confident read like on this fight, but I'm on the MBS side. I'm just simply for those reasons. I just don't know that. Like I just think that like Holm is just older and just kind of getting slower, and I'm not of the belief that she's getting better at this point. I've heard people say that this week, like that she still looks good and she's doing her thing. It's like she looks good against like what Santos. Like come on, like anybody's looking good against her. We almost had finishing props in the last 2 fights against that chick. Like I really don't. I'm not thinking Holm's like going to be lasting much longer. She looks like the milk's gone bad, if you know what I mean. Watching her step up to the scales today. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of, 10 years younger, just a classic, classic changing of the guard. MBS is also got some good power in her hands, so I wouldn't be shocked if she rocked Holm with some body kicks or some leg kicks to slow her down. I don't know. I just feel like she's just going to do more damage in the fight. So if you gave me, I don't know, maybe I'll take a shot more on like the ends, like her by split decision or something like that with the sub, as opposed to the KO. I think it would be more likely to have that happen, like either sub or like win by like MBS.
Split is 450, Tim. Let me help you out. Split is 450.
What is MBS by split?
MBS by split is 1200. That's what I have. I think both of them are good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be, volume is going to be Holly Holm, right? We know this. Like she's going to throw the volume, but the power, the jiu-jitsu skills, all this other stuff is on Mayra Bueno Silva. The fucking age is on her side. Holly Holm is pushing 42, dude. Like that's just not good. And did she look good last time? Yeah, but against who? Against Santos, who looked absolutely atrocious last fight out in rounds 2 and round three. Dude, like it's just Mayra Bueno Silva is just a better fighter at this point in their career. Her last loss was against Manon Farrow. Manon Farrow would absolutely murder Holly Holm at this point in their career. So, I mean, MBS by split is 450, the fight, and her by split is 1200. I think she wins this fight. But you know what? The thing why I say split is because I feel like judges kind of favor Holly Holm. And when you look at the fight where she lost by split, right? I don't think that was a fucking split decision loss to Ketlin Vieira. She clearly lost that fight. But somehow, some way, it became a split decision. The other thing is, I think this is important, and I don't think people have looked at this. But Tim, this is only the second time in her career she's been fighting in the Apex. She usually fights in a big cage. She's used to a big cage, right? She's used to skirting around, kicking, doing all her things, right? The other time that she didn't fight in a big cage, it was the loss to Ketlin Vieira. It was in the small cage. So, with that being said, she's only fought once in the Apex. She's 0-1, and I think she's going to go 0-2 in the Apex because this chick is used to just fighting in bigger cages. She's used to using her distance, kicking, punching from the outside, and skirting around the cage. And like you said, lately she's been grappling, and if she grapples here, honestly, she might get subbed. She might get subbed by Silva because Silva's very fucking good on the ground, man. She is no joke. And she's probably going to sub
She literally locks these subs up in like 5 seconds, not even. Like as soon as her back hits the ground, she's like in position to sub people. And these are like really like Stephanie Egger she's not good. So don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that she's of the caliber of like Holly Holm. She's a way better submission grappler than Holly Holm. Like,
but let's talk about Jillian Roberts.
That's where I was going. Like, she's 10 times better submission grappler than Holly Holm. It's not even like galactical differences between Jillian Robertson on the ground submission defense versus Holly Holm, and she gets armbarred from guard. It's because she's slick. It's kind of like, like we had you don't see it often, but she's really fucking slick with it. So I don't know. I think it's definitely a possibility.
Wait, I have to tell George something. He says narco spitting fire narratives. No, George, that's not a narrative. That's a freaking fact. There's a difference between narratives and facts. The fact is she's 0-1 in a small cage, and this is the second time she's fighting in it. So that's not a narrative. That's definitely a fact, and I think it's going to affect her, to be honest. Small cages just not good for a girl of her fighting style. It just isn't. She needs a bigger cage. She needs to move around. She needs to use her kicking game, and she's not going to be able to do it in this fight. So 117 of you in here. We peaked at 135 today. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Smash that like button down below. Also, I do have my merch store down below in the description. If you want, support the channel. You can go buy anything from that merch store. I'd really appreciate it. And with that being said, Tim, let's give our Lambo parlay. I have mine ready, locked, and loaded.
Go ahead.
I already played it. It is Costa by submission, Duraev by decision, and Evan Elder by decision. It is 120-1 on FanDuel. So I already have. If that hits, Tim, it's party time, my friend. It's going to be almost a 5-figure day here. So it'll be nice. What do you have, Tim?
All right. I got Elder sub, Dudakova sub, Costa sub, 114-1.
Wait, say it again?
Elder by sub, Dudakova by sub, Costa by sub. But I'm thinking I might want to switch out. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to switch out that one. I'm going to do yours instead because it's going to make it bigger.
What do you mean mine?
Not yours. I'm going to do I'm switching the Prado KO to Prado. I like Prado sub, and his line is way better than Elder.
Wait. Who are you taking out, though?
I'm taking out Elder instead.
Oh, you're taking out Elder and you're adding Prado KO?
No, I'm adding Prado. I'm going to do Prado by sub. Oh. I like yours. I like yours
so
more.
Costa, Dudakova, and Prado?
Yeah.
What does that pay?
It's astronomical. It's got to be like 130 to 150.
I'm going to do it right now. It's got to be even more than that. Let's see here. I'm gonna look it up on FanDuel as we speak. It's going to be more than that.
No, because it's actually the same. It's pretty close to the same. Because
did you say Dudakova sub?
Yeah, Elder sub is plus 500, and Costa's only 525. So it's pretty close.
No, but you didn't switch out Costa, bro.
That's I know. I switched out. I switched out Prado.
Prado is big, isn't it bigger?
No, it's only plus 525.
Yeah,
it's the same. So it'll be like plus 114 or 115-1.
Yeah, it's 114-1. So I just put $25 on it to win 2,800. Tim, I always play yours, so
do it.
I won't regret it when it hits. But yeah, guys. 109 of you still in here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Diehard says Silva's going to hurt her KO. I won't be surprised. She hits pretty damn hard. So, it's possible. But, man, Holly's pretty fucking durable. She's hard to get out of there. But, yeah, she's older. I could see it. It can definitely happen. Narks, you guys done? I'm 1 hour late. Yes, we're done, Ash. We're already done, bro. Go back and watch the replay. All the picks are there. I'm feeling a fucking good week, Tim. I'm feeling it, bro. I'm feeling it. I feel like we're gonna hit like 6. My prediction is 6 Lambos.
It'd be beautiful.
6. And there's gonna be some big one.
Mushroom asked if I could repeat mine. I did Prado sub, Dudakova sub, and Costa sub.
There you go. Sean Orr better late.
The milk's gone bad. The milk's gone bad.
She is definitely anxious. By the way, me and Sean went over to the sports book together. We saw the racetrack, Turf Paradise.
We got to do that.
They had a sign. No, when we walked in, right? They had a sign waiting for Timothy Troiano. I'm like, what the fuck? You guys know this guy wants to come here? Dude, but honestly, we went in there, absolute dead zone. Nobody's in that place. It was a ghost town. It was just me and him going at it, us and the machines. We were going back and forth. But yeah, guys, can't wait for tomorrow. I'm fucking super pumped. I'm back home. I'm loving it. I will be in Spaces tomorrow. I think card starts at 7 Eastern. It's a very late card. So I'll be 7 Eastern live on Spaces per usual. Live plays. We've been crushing it. We crushed it last week again. Tim, what do you got going? And tell them where they can find you and all the good stuff.
Yep, here I'll always, and then tomorrow with Sean Orr on Twitter Spaces. We'll do the full card and just full fight breakdowns, not Lambo Plays.
Yeah, guys, join them tomorrow on Spaces pre-fight. They break down every one of the fights on this card. Him and Sean Orr, two very, very sharp guys. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And as usual, Tim, let's fucking cash those tickets for UFC Vegas 77. See you guys all next week. Take